Iceland is a European island country that was formed from the frequent activity of volcanoes long ago. It is a country that lies in between the Greenland Sea and the Atlantic Ocean at approximately 65 degrees north and 18 degrees west. Because of its location, Iceland is a place that has the luxury of experiencing all four of the wonderful seasons that Earth has to offer. In the summertime, the weather in Iceland is contrary to its name. Though it doesn't get too hot, the temperature in Iceland in the summertime stays around a cool 55 degrees Fahrenheit. But for those looking for more of a winter atmosphere, Iceland has a variety to offer. If one chose to stay in the nation's capital of Reykjavik, they would experience a mild atmosphere where the temperature is right around 32 degrees Fahrenheit. This is due to the Gulf Stream that brings warm weather from the Caribbean. If one was looking for more of an adventure, Iceland provides one with the opportunity to enjoy some snow or explore glaciers in the northern and eastern parts of the country. The fall and spring are a little bit different though. These seasons are a little more harsh as the weather gets accommodated for the longer seasons. It is often difficult to find nice days because of frequent stormy weather and persistent winds. Apart from its weather, Iceland has much to offer for tourists to ensure that they are always on an adventure. One can choose to explore the nature of Iceland by visiting its many attractions spread throughout the island. Near Reykjavik, Iceland's capital and the southwest region of the island, one can be adventurous and swim between the American and European tectonic plates in Silfra, or hike to one of the many hot springs that are scattered along the region. These hot springs are unique to Iceland's landscape in that it allows for heat vents from the Earth's core to rise up through the crust and keep the pools at a comfortable 98 to 104 degrees Fahrenheit. The most popular of these springs is the Blue Lagoon, which attracts thousands of people annually throughout the world. There are also many campgrounds spread throughout the area for a chance to see the region's beautiful landscape firsthand. However, if one is looking for more of a relaxing trip, the city of Reykjavik is the place for them. Reykjavik, the nation's capital, is comprised of more than half the entire population, at around 200,000 people living within the area. In the city, people tend to keep themselves busy with one of the many activities that it has to offer. People often visit the unique bars and restaurants to get a bite to eat and enjoy the company of others. The food is mostly comprised of fish, since it is a coastal city, dairy, and other means of products that Iceland's barren landscape can support. After a quick bite to eat, one can visit the many museums that Iceland has to offer to learn more about the country's Celtic and Nordic past. The Perlan Museum, in particular, is a good place to view the city of Reykjavik and its coastline and rolling hills. Another popular attraction in Reykjavik is the Grimchurch Hall Cathedral for its beautiful architecture. If one is looking to travel a little into the north and west regions of Iceland, other activities are being offered. In this region, it is likely that one can interact with the wildlife more, as one can take a trip to the coastal waters where whales will frequently be spotted feeding, as well as see the large puffin population that is supported in the summer months of the year. Another neat feature of this region is that one can enter the Arctic Circle on Iceland's island of Grimsey. It is one of the few northern nations that share this. Traveling to the southern and eastern region of the island also has different options for excursions that people can take. Of them is the beautiful waterfall of Seljalandsfoss that one can walk behind to get a surreal view that must be seen. Or one can visit Europe's largest national park, Vatnajökull, to explore the many ice caves that are there for the main attraction. In the interior part of the island, one can fly over an active volcano in a helicopter, stay up late at night to witness the aurora borealis, or horseback ride through the trails that are offered in the countryside. Iceland is comprised of very dense Nordic and Celtic populations, since that is where their whole nation originated from, with the Vikings first settling here in the 9th century. The first settlers were forced to live in grass and turf houses due to the lack of resources that the island contained. They also followed the basic building structure of Viking longhouses, which explains most of the Iceland's architecture. In the Icelandic culture, people are very concerned about being self-sufficient and independent. This does not mean that they are antisocial, though. The Icelandic people are very open to outsiders, as they are ranked number 1 for the most accepting of migrants. The population is also very prominent in support for the equal rights of women, even though as recently they are one of the few nations where there is a law requiring men and women to receive equal pay and have no wage gap. Iceland also shows support for the LGBTQ community as well. This makes the atmosphere around Iceland fair and intends to be an overall safe and secure place to visit. The people of the country are considered to have a national language to be Icelandic, which is derived from the heavy use of Old Norse. The people of Iceland are very concerned about linguistic purism, however, as they do not want external influence to change their language. In their leisure time, people often engage in exploring the streets of the city, looking at the many murals spread throughout. Or they could possibly get a drink and a bite to eat with some of the many bars and restaurants that Reykjavik has to offer. Icelanders are very active people too. The people of Iceland frequently participate in sports and other activities. An interesting thing about Iceland is that the nation's sport is actually handball, a game that is not common in the US. It follows the game of soccer, but instead of using one's feet, they are allowed to use their hands. Also, the music that Icelanders often listen to is pop or folk. Overall, Iceland is one of the most interesting places on the planet, as it has a lot to offer for those that call it home and those seeking a vacation. There, one can visit the northernmost capital of the world, go horseback riding on the countless trails, or even enter the Arctic Circle all in one country. So prepare to dress warm and have a lot of fun, as I hope to see you in this great country of Iceland.